mission possible to make our mark. We are lions, we serve from the heart. Whatever our community needs, we be that. Our mission is possible. We be that. We will form new clubs. We be that.
Lions! Thank you so much for being willing to come here at the end of a long day. Who's had a good day, yeah? Awesome. Let's just get right into it. My brothers and sisters in service, we are gathered here this evening in Lionistic Fellowship to discuss issues that are important to the soul of our great association. We're going to talk about how to revitalize, re-energize, and reinvigorate our clubs, our zones, our regions, our districts, our multiple districts, and Lionism as a whole. Can I get a we serve? We be that. So we're going to start with a question, and it's an easy question. Show of hands, do you love being a lion? All right. Here's a harder question. Are you willing to let lionism die with you? All right. I love that answer. But what are we going to do about it? Because the reality is, as you heard this morning, we have not had a positive membership year in Constitutional Area 1 in 40 years. I was 5 the last time we had a positive membership year. 5. You can do the math on that one. So we are in danger of dying. But I have hope, because each and every single person in this room is someone who has dedicated their lives to this organization. You wouldn't be here if you hadn't. And I know that equipped with the tools that you have learned this weekend, you're going to go back and we're going to change the world. And right? Can I get a we be that? Yeah. Exactly. So just to give you a little bit of perspective, we need to remember the truth of Melvin Jones. It's a truth that we once knew here in Constitutional Area 1. Of course we did. We founded Lionism. We be that. There's a quote that Melvin Jones said. Now, many of you have heard you can't get very far until you start doing some things for somebody else. There is only one thing greater than having the privilege of being a member of Lions Club, and that is helping to build one. Okay? That's the truth of Melvin Jones. Melvin Jones is someone who would get on a train to go visit a club, get off the train to have lunch, and start a Lions Club in that town while he was having lunch. We need to remember this truth, that spreading lionism is service. Say it with me. Spreading lionism is service. In fact, it is the greatest service that any lion could ever do. Because the reality is, I could volunteer every single day of my life, and I would help a lot of people if I did that. But if I recruit just one more, we have 2 lifetimes of service. If I recruit 5 more, we have 5 lifetimes of service. If I help to build a club, we have a generation of service. There could be people serving that community in 100 years because we did that, because we be that. I'd like to also share with you the wisdom of A.P. Singh, our first international vice president. He said this quote at a convention I was at, and I immediately wrote it down and put it right into the presentation. Lions International will one day be recognized in the halls of a museum honoring the greatest humanitarian organizations that have ever existed. It is up to you to determine whether it will be found in the current events or the history section. Where's it going to be? Current events. That's right. Spreading Lionism is service. Spreading Lionism is the number one service of Lions. It needs to be. We need to begin to think as a whole. Now, many places that I have traveled, including my own district, Lionism sometimes ends at the borders of a town. Right? We all know lions like that. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's great to serve your community. It's even better to go to the next town over and help empower them to serve their community. That is our goal. Every single person needs to understand that spreading Lionism is service, because none of the other service happens unless somebody does that. The person who invited me to become a Lion got invited by somebody who got invited by somebody who got invited by somebody who probably got invited by Melvin Jones. Right? We need you to all begin to think like that. And every time you sponsor a new member, start with this sentence. Spreading Lionism is service. Day one, they need to learn the truth of Melvin Jones. I want to put things into context a little bit. Raising the next generation of Lions in my district, Delaware. My club, the Bellefonte Lions, formed as a club branch of the Claymont Lions in March of 2017. We started with 5 members. We chartered as our own club in March of 2018 with 68 members. And now we have 141 members. And we have sponsored 4 clubs. We are now 23% of our entire district. Started with 5 Lions 7 years ago. What can you do with just 5 Lions? A whole lot, right? Now, it's important for me to tell the story of the Claymont Lions, because the Claymont Lions Club is the textbook definition of a traditional Lions Club. They do pancake breakfasts, they sell Christmas trees, and they do vision screenings. And that's it. And they're really good at it. They sell probably $80,000 worth of Christmas trees every single year, right? Now, that's what they want to do. That's what they're happy doing. But they realized that there was a community, the next community over, that didn't have a Lions Club. And so they decided to try and start a club branch. They did asset mapping. They sat down and they wrote down the names of every organization that might be willing to be a partner. It took them 2 years. Two years they worked on this, until they called a community center. It happened to be the community center that I worked at. And they asked us to become Lions. And because they sponsored a new club, our district has life. That's not an exaggeration. I was district governor 2 years ago, after being a Lion for 5 years. I was district governor because we had no one else who was ready to step up. I don't know what we would have done, but if it weren't for the Claymont Lions being willing to sponsor a club, and let me tell you, our club is nothing like their club. We don't look like them. We don't serve like them. They embraced change without having to change who they are. And keep that in mind, right? We're not asking you to say you have to change your club. If you got a traditional Lions club, that's great. Sponsor a non-traditional one. There's a question that got asked to me once. It's a past district governor, Gucharan Manku. He's from multiple district 105 in England. And it's an important question. What would you like Lions to be if it was founded today? Anyone, what would you like Lions to be if it was founded today? It's not a rhetorical question. Does anyone have an answer of what they would like to see? Younger, okay? So, how do you get that? The interesting thing, though, is when you recruit a new member, day one, it's almost as if Lionism was founded that day for them. So when we were recruited, they told us Lions could be anything we wanted it to be, as long as we followed the code of ethics and paid our dues. They didn't say, well, Lions do vision screening and you have to do vision screening. Heck, our first service project was a chess club. They said, chess sounds great. Is that what the community needs? Awesome. They didn't say, chess is not one of our 5 global service areas. There's some clubs that might have said that, right? It's a balancing act that we're dealing with. How do we preserve our legacy and yet know that we hold the future in our hands? Together, we must ensure that our grandchildren will not have to ask why we failed to do the right thing and let them suffer the consequences. And the consequences are there might not be Lions in that community. We have to find ways to realize that there is no box. We've left the box behind. What is Lions Clubs International? When you close your eyes and you start to think about it, everybody here might have a different answer. There are some who say it's vision screening. There are some who will say it is writing checks. There are some who will say it's yellow vests. There are some who will say it's lots of meetings. And there are some who say it's protocol. How many of you know one of those? Right? They're in every district. Doesn't make them wrong, because that's what Lionism is for them. But what we have to realize is Lionism can be anything you want it to be. This is what it is in my community.
Do you want to make a difference? There is a world of service waiting for you.
All across this planet, you can discover local opportunities to make a difference.
If you know where to look, there's a global family that's right next door, just waiting for you to join them.
We are dynamic.
We are diverse.
We are determined to be of service to those in need.
We are dedicated to improving the health and well-being of all.
We strengthen communities in partnership with those who care.
We promote peace,
and international understanding, one neighbor at a time.
We are lions.
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 Every single one of those things is a service project of the Bellefonte Lions. How did we get those? Well, I'll tell you. It's easy. I was at a community event, and I met a young man, and I asked him what he was passionate about. And he said, I'm passionate about art and teaching kids art. And I said, excellent. That's exactly what Lions do. And I pulled out an application. And he said, aren't you guys the eyeglass and pancake people? I said, yeah, but now we're the teaching kids art people. I'm not asking you to do anything other than what you're passionate about. I'm asking you to do what you're already doing. In fact, I'm offering to help you do it. Because wouldn't it be nice if a club could help raise some funds to buy some art supplies for those kids you want to teach? Yeah, that would be nice. My gosh, he's one of the best lions I've got. When we have our club meetings, all the kids of our members of our Lions Club go down the hall and have an art class. Because family is who we are. If you want the next generation, you need to make your meetings accessible to the next generation. They need to feel welcome at the family table, right? So, how did I get this video? Well, I met a young man, and I asked him what he was passionate about. He said, I'm passionate about making videos. And I said, excellent. That's exactly what lions do. And he said, aren't you guys the Boy Scouts for old men? I said, I resemble that remark. But now, we're making videos to inspire people in our community, right? Every one of those service projects, whether or not it's teaching basketball, it's yoga in the garden, all of them started with asking a question about what someone was passionate about. We reverse engineer our Lions Club. We don't start the year with this is our list of our services. The people who walk through the door determine what our services are. When we had 5 members, we wrote down the list of every single organization in our community that shared a similar mission. We wanted to serve the youth, so we wrote down every single youth-serving organization in our community. Asset mapping. And then we picked up the phone and we called them. And we asked them when their next event was. We didn't ask them to become Lions. We asked them when their next event was and asked if we could come and volunteer for them. I don't know any nonprofit in the world that will say no to a bunch of talented, dedicated, and enthusiastic volunteers calling to say, can we help you out? And we threw on our Lions gear, and we went down, and we volunteered our hearts out. And at the end of every time we did that, invariably, someone would say, who are you people? We're Lions. What do Lions do? We serve. You guys were great. How do we get you back at our next event? Why don't you come to our next meeting and tell us all about it? In fact, why don't you join our club as a liaison between your organization and our club? I know you're busy. We're offering to help make you less busy. See? Reverse engineer. So our club has people who are the executive directors of community centers and youth service organizations and the library and a whole list of people that have an access to resources. So every time we have a club meeting, we've got a whole section of our city sitting around the table that says, what are your needs? What are your resources? How do we share? At the heart of what we do is service. That's it. We have to return to our roots. How many of you join Lions to attend long, boring meetings? Then why do we do so much of it? Right? I'm just being honest. I don't ask people to join Lions to go to meetings. I tell them meetings are a great place for fellowship and to share resources, but I'm asking you to serve, right? So the last thing in the world I'll ever do with a new recruit is tell them to go to a cabinet meeting. Because I'm sorry, I've got better things to do than listen to reports be read that got emailed to me 2 weeks ago. When I stepped in as district governor, I shocked my district by saying, our district does not meet unless service happens. You want to have a cabinet meeting? We're attaching a service project to it. You want to have a social service project attached to it. I had some pretty significant pushback. I had a past council chair inform me that he would be writing to Lions International Legal Department to report me for asking Lions to do service. Because according to the Constitution and bylaws, the purpose of the district shall be solely administrative. So I can't ask them to do service. I said, great, it's voluntary. What do you think happened? More people started coming to our cabinet meetings, right? When's the last time you walked out of a meeting feeling excited? We added service to every meeting my club has. We don't meet unless there's service. And it's simple. We'll have blank cards on the table. And while we're sitting around having our meeting, we will start filling out cards thanking first responders for the service they do. Or we'll write cards to children who's got pediatric cancer. Little simple things. If you joined Lions for service, put service back into everything we do, you will discover that people get so excited. The first time you get a letter back from somebody that you wrote a letter to and you've helped make a mother's life better by sending something kind to the kids, that's the moment. That's the moment that you'll never forget. Service. We need to be the change we want to see in our association because it's not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent. It is the one that is most adaptable to change. How adaptable is your club? I heard a laugh in the front. How adaptable is your district? Every time I hear someone say they want new members, the question I have for them is, are you willing to change? Because if the answer is no, then you don't want new members. You want clones. You want people who think like you, who look like you, who pray like you, who want to serve exactly like you do to preserve your legacy. Newsflash, people want to create their own legacies. You want to get people in a club, give them the chance to form a legacy. And to say 50 years from now, there could be people serving because you did this. But we have to be ready for change. And when we do so, we need to think generationally. If we're not raising the next generation, we won't have the next generation. So it's my call to action everywhere I go. I talk about youth programming. What do I mean by youth programming? I mean doing service for and with the youth. But the youth have to have a say. They need a seat at the table. They need a position on your board. They need to help pick what you're going to do. So my Lions Club has a 100% conversion rate from Leo into Leo Lion. When they turn 18, they ask for a Lions Club application for their birthday. That's what they want. Why? Because we're their family. Why? Because we empower them, right? Our club has 2 people on our board that are under the age of 21. Our services are things that they want to do, which was why you saw the young man teaching basketball to an even younger person. That's his service project. He wants to teach people basketball. Great. That's exactly what Lions do. We teach people basketball. Sure do, right? So when you are out there recruiting, how many elevator speeches have you heard that include the dates 1917 or 1925 and refer to Helen Keller? Many, many, many of them. What do you think a 22-year-old thinks of that? Who's Helen Keller? That's exactly right. Now, we can use it as an educational opportunity to teach them who Helen Keller is. But if you're recruiting for the next generation of Lions will be more interested in what you have done recently and what you will be doing than what Lions once did. Focus on the now. You want to get them in? Focus on the now. What do you want to do? How do we empower it? How do we help support you? I was talking to a young Leo named Marco, and this was at the Europa Forum in Zagreb, Croatia. And he said, "Would you like to know why we don't want to become Lions?" Yes, please. We're trying to solve the answer to that question. He goes, "Well, we get asked to move tables a lot." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, because we're young and we're strong, we get used as manual labor for your fundraisers. And if you want us to join, we need to be involved in the decision-making process of why the table is being moved and where it's being moved to, and what's being done with the money that we helped you raise. Empower them from the very start. And when you're doing so, just think for a moment about language. How long have you introduced yourself as the past? Hi, I'm the past this. I'm the past that. I'm the past this. I'm the past that. Thank you for your service in the past. We need you now. I refuse to be a past anything. If you have to refer to me as a PDG, it is because I am providing district guidance. But I'm not the past anything, and we don't want you to be the past anything, because in order to be successful in Mission 1.5, we need each and every single one of you to help us build the future. We be that. Who's ready to leave the past behind them? Okay? We be that. Look around the room. That is an incredible thing, right? Because if you call yourself the past, that's all you'll ever be. So a question, how do we learn? Through experience. All right. So, Lion Tom, see, I didn't call him the past because he's so present. Do you play violin? No. So what would happen if I were to reach over here and pull out a violin and ask you to perform in front of everybody? Most would leave. It would probably sound like you're strangling a cat, right? They say practice makes perfect. They say practice makes permanent. They say it takes 10,000 hours of practice to become an expert in anything. So why do we expect membership recruitment to be any different? When's the last time you practiced? This morning, right? When's the last time the Lions in your district practiced? Probably never. So seriously and legitimately, we need each and every one of you to go back to your districts. And at the next cabinet meeting, at the next zone meeting, at the next club meeting, heck, at your district governor visitations, practice. Have your second vice district governor try and recruit your first vice district governor in front of the whole audience. As a leader, never ask anyone to do something that you haven't done yourself. Right away, they will see that you're serious. And then you practice. I'll make it super simple and easy. Show of hands, how many of you know someone in your community that you respect as a human being who is not a lion? All right, if you didn't raise your hand, either everyone you know is lions or you don't have friends. All I'm asking is that you practice violin. When I asked that question, whether or not it was consciously or subconsciously, for a moment you thought of somebody. When you get home tomorrow, on Monday, I want you to pick up the phone and call that person you thought of and invite them out for coffee. And say, when you get there, you know, I just wanted to let you know how much I respect you as a human being. You're a valuable part of our community. And I got asked this weekend to think of somebody who I respect, and you're the person who I thought of. Since I respect you so much, I've got a question. What is one thing you think we could be doing in our community that would make a difference to help people? And whatever they say, excellent. That's exactly what lions do. What's the worst that's going to happen? They say no, right? And even in saying no, you will have done an act of service. Mental health is a really important thing these days. And you know how much I'd love it if one of my random friends called me up to tell me they respected me as a human being and bought me a cup of coffee? Think about it that way, right? Practice that violin. So how many of you will commit right here and now to this coming week to call the person that they thought of or will think of that they respect as a human being, to ask them how to better improve your community and see if they can recruit them as lions? Can I get a show of hands? All right. We be that. Have a recruitment conversation, not a speech. If I walk up to you and say, hi, my name is Daniel. I'm a part of the world's largest service organization with 1.4 million members in 200 countries in the world, and we do these 8 global services. What do I know about you? Nothing. Ask questions. What are you passionate about? What's one way we can improve our community? Here's where it gets dangerous here. What is our mission? All right. With the exception of the people who've seen me do this before, and there's a few of them in here, I will donate $1,000 to LCIF in the name of anyone who has not served on an executive level, who can tell me what the mission statement for Lions International is? No, we serve as our motto. Okay? Empower individuals, that's close, but no. Don't worry, I have done this in front of past and future international presidents. Because he's got it on the card. And you are so close, but that is the mission statement of Lions Clubs International, and that is outdated. We have a new one. Oh, you almost had it. Almost had it. It is our mission to empower Lions, volunteers, and their communities to improve health and well-being, to strengthen communities, and to meet humanitarian needs through grants and services that impact lives globally while encouraging peace and international understanding. Now, that's a long sentence. We be that, but if all you can remember is improve health and well-being, strengthen communities, and meet humanitarian needs, you will be a much more effective recruiter. Listen, if you love Lions, learn our mission. Get every Lion that you know. So my club, every club meeting, we start by reading the Lions International mission statement. We're probably one of the few clubs in the entire world who can say, even our newest members know what the mission statement. Wouldn't that be nice to add to your cabinet meetings? Right? Start with our mission. Know our mission. Practice makes perfect, okay? You do that role playing. Now, the most common and negative response when you're doing recruitment will be the "I'm too busy" excuse. I'm not asking you to do anything other than what you're already doing. In fact, I'm offering to help you do it. That's why I'm trying to help you. We do strategic recruiting of people who are already doing service in their community because of their passion and or profession. And we offer to help them, and they almost never say no. Because who doesn't need more help, right? I want to show you a quick example. Listen, tell, ask.
Okay. I am Alex Nwagawa, and originally from Uganda. I'm a Ugandan. I live in here in Boston, in Waltham City. I would love to be one of the Lions Club member.
Perfect.
Thank you.
So that was my Uber driver from the hotel to the International Convention in Boston. I had 3.5 minutes. I asked him his story. He told me his story and what he was passionate about. I told him how Lions was a great way for someone who is new to this country to join a community and help and serve. And if you can see, this is the text to past District Governor Don Rice Norton that I connected him with to get him into a club. So just ask is a great starting point. I would say listen, tell, ask. Listen, tell, ask. Listen to their story, tell them about Lions, and ask them to join the family. I don't ask anybody to join a club because we are so much more than a club. We are the world's largest humanitarian family. Live like family. And if we do that, people will want to join. They will. Listen, tell, ask. We are the world's best kept secret. Use that to your advantage. Lions can be anything that they want it to be. We be that. So here's the question, how do we get from here to there? And we talked a little bit about it today, but this is the foundation of success is what is called asset-based community development. It's ABCD. And so for the GETs and the district governors, there was a session that talked about asset mapping. And essentially what it is looking at a community and attempting to identify the things that exist in that community that might lead to potential partnerships or future memberships. It's a different approach from a needs-based approach. For 107 years, Lions International has been a needs-based approach. Where there's a need, there's a lion, right? That's looking at what's wrong in the community. That's looking at what are the needs that we're there to meet. Instead of saying, what are the positives that we can empower to meet those needs? It's just a different way of looking at it. Your club, your way. If they find your passion, they can define your service. Now, there's a very important lesson that we learned. That commercial that I showed you, I did a membership development grant, and I'm going to talk about grants in just a second, and used money from LCI to put that on Facebook and put it everywhere throughout the state of Delaware. My gosh, I probably had about 118 people reach out and say they wanted to be Lions. My problem was, we were the only club that did service like that. So what happens when I try and connect them to a club that doesn't do that? Well, that's not why they want to join, right? So we formed what are called hub clubs. A hub club is a club that is willing to support any type of service, is open-minded, and is a place that can give them a place that they can feel welcome. We started a virtual branch and had those people join virtual branches until we had enough people to form a new club. That's why my club has formed so many new clubs. We form branches. We'll get 5 or 6 people who are really passionate about, let's say, weightlifting, right? And they're not going to be able to join a traditional club because what they want to do is weightlift and teach people physical fitness. So they joined our hub club, and we gave them a safe place where they could learn about Lionism and get access to grants and all of those things, until we had enough people to charter the Camp Conquer Lions Club. And now, if you go to Lions International YouTube, you can look up Camp Conquer Lions Club. There's a whole video. These people, one of them is an Olympiad weightlifter. They don't look like your normal Lions, right? But yet, we gave them a safe place. And because we connected their passion to service, we now have a new club. Where there's a need, there is a lion. Where there is an asset, there is a potential new lion. Where there's a need, there's a lion. Where there's an asset, there's a potential new lion. Find those assets in your community. Google the name of a town that you want to put a Lions Club in and put nonprofit after it. So, if we're talking about, Baltimore, Google Baltimore nonprofits, and a whole list will pop up. And those then are the people you should start to look at, because these are people whose passion and profession is already service, right? I work for a nonprofit. It doesn't pay much. So the reality is you have to really care about that. So those are your potential partners when you start to do this. And as you do so, I want you to take a moment and think about this. The library is the future of Lions. What do I mean about this? Well, is there anyone here that doesn't have a library somewhere within their county? No. They're everywhere, even rural, right? Libraries are reinventing themselves. Because of the digital devices we have, people are not reading as much, and they're turning themselves into community centers where they're offering services. Go to your local library, look up the services that are offered, give them a call, volunteer to go read to the kids, whatever the need is. Libraries in the United States have a very interesting thing. It's called the Friends of the Library, and it's a group of people who pay to volunteer to help meet the needs of the thing that they're passionate about. My Friends of the Library, it cost me $10 to join. Best $10 I ever spent. Because that is the Wilmington Public Library, and it is now home of the Wilmington United Lions Club. We connected with them, found out what their needs are. The Wilmington United Lions Club meets on Saturday mornings at 10 o'clock in the morning. Why? Because most of them are about 40, 45 and have kids, and they're too busy to come out on a Tuesday night for a dinner meeting, but they can make time on a Saturday. The library allows them to bring their kids along, because every library has a place the kids can hang out. And then they do a service project right at the library immediately afterwards. Meet service project. They will help people write resumes. They will do job interview workshops. They will do presentations about health and nutrition. Whatever the need is, libraries. When you're thinking about your action plans, look up your local library. Give them a call. Talk to the director of that library and ask them what their needs are and offer to volunteer to help them. And once you have done so, ask them if they'd be willing to have you start a club branch at that library. And then ask the director if they're willing to serve as a liaison between the library and the Lions Club. And you're not asking them to do anything other than what they're already doing. In fact, you're offering to help them do it. I've never had a director of a library tell me no, because I'm offering to recruit people to help that library, right? And then it becomes the new service. In closing, I want to talk to you about some tools here. And these are the grants that are available to you. The tools for success. There is a membership development grant. It's a grant that's open right now. On a district level, it's $1,500. You need a $500 match. On a multiple district level, it's $4,500 with a $1,500 match. It is a grant that you can get from Lions International to give you money to promote membership in your district. How many of you have turned one in this year? Okay. I love that there's some hands, but I see a whole lot of hands that didn't go up. Do you know what you need in order to be successful at applying for this grant? An action plan. Huh. How many of you worked on an action plan this weekend? Okay. I used this grant during my year to do that Facebook video. Okay? My year as a district governor ended at a plus 118 because I had money to market Lions. I can't tell you how many times I've said, I've heard people say, I wish, LCI would do more to market Lions. They are giving you the money to do it. All you have to do is apply for it. Now, the cool thing is, this grant, it is reimbursable. So once you meet 50% of your goal, which includes one club, okay, and all of you have at least one club probably as one of your goals, you get the money back, and you can apply for it again in the same year. Double your money until it's gone. Every constitutional area has a certain amount of money. So it's first come, first serve. So when you go back, sit down and work on your grant, grab your first vice district governors, and get them to start planning theirs. So in my district, after my year, I served as our multiple district GMT, and it was like July 2nd. We all turned in our grants to get that money. And as a result of using that money, our multiple district was in the top 5 multiple districts in the country last year. MD22. How did we use that? I'll show you in a second. But you should also know that there's a marketing grant. It's multiple district only, and it's $15,000 to promote Lionism. It has to be tied to membership. It's all Mission 1.5 now. So they'll ask you, how many new members are you going to get from this marketing initiative? Now, how many of your multiple districts are applying for that $15,000? Okay then. Grab people from your multiple and get them on a call next week. You have to the end of September. Okay. The board meets in October, and that's when the marketing committee of the board votes and approves those grants. Is there any member of the marketing committee of the board who happens to be here? Oh, hey. No, look right over here. Could you please stand up, sir? Okay. You want to introduce yourself to everyone? Okay. Until October. First come, first serve, folks. So, sitting here is one of the people who will be voting on whether or not you get that money. And I'm sorry, sir, but that's the job you signed up for. And I hope every single person in this room goes and talks to him before the end of this weekend. Oh, he's going home tonight. Oh, okay. Make it quick, right? I can tell you this with absolute certainty because I was an appointee to the marketing committee last year. The other constitutional areas are all going after that money. Oh, yeah. They're organized about it. They're planning it out in advance. And the fact that there wasn't a single hand that went up here means we're not using all the tools that we could be. Okay? If anybody needs advice on a marketing plan, feel free. I will gladly spend some time. Heck, I'll show you the grant that we wrote as an example, if you would like one. What we did, I'll show you in 1 second. But here's some more tools. There's a Leo service grant, both district and multiple district level. It's between $1,500 and $5,000. It's a 25% match. This is to promote Leos and Lions working in partnership to do service. Okay? Now, this year, our multiple district has put in a membership development grant and a marketing grant and a Leo service grant, and they're all tied together. We are promoting a day of service to raise awareness about Lionism in connection to the Memorial Day Parade and helping serve veterans and empower youth in that process. And all of it feeds together. Thinking strategically, right? If we can get that money to then help the Leos do a big service project and then use the marketing grant to help promote that service project throughout the state and then use the membership development grant to follow up, see? Those are the tools. I put it up here, a Lions Quest grant. because Lions Quest is a social emotional learning curriculum. If you want to know more about it, talk to PID Jerome Thompson. He will give you all the information about how you can use that to increase membership. But I put it up there because you can get a $1,500 promotional grant to promote this program, and it's about maybe 5 sentences worth of work plus an action plan. The community partnership grant, you just need to find one community organization willing to write a letter saying that they might use Lions Quest, and you can get a $15,000 grant to train the teachers, buy the curriculum, make a video about it, promote it, all of those things. So I walk into a daycare center and say, hey, would you guys like $15,000 worth of training for your teachers? Well, all you got to do is become Lions, right? So these are the tools that are available, and I just sort of want to talk about how we used it. And this is a really important thing. It's about identity. So we are Multiple District 22. I'm from 22D. International director, John Lawrence is from 22B. What does 22B or 22D mean to our community? Nothing. Yet, why are we using that as the outward facing? Every Facebook page I see, it's like the Lions of 22W, this, that, and the third, right? It doesn't have meaning. It's internal baseball. Right? I am the GMT of the GAT of the 22D and the LMNOP. What does that mean? Nothing. So when I became district governor, I said, we're not using 22D anymore. We are the Delaware Lions. DelawareLions.org. That's right. Do you live in Delaware? Well, heck, you're halfway there. You just need to add the Lions part to it, right? It's this sense of identity. We used our marketing grant to then brand the Maryland Lions, the Washington, D.C. Lions, and create outward-facing websites and campaigns that identify with this sense of identity. When are we going to be the Lions of the United States and its affiliates? Right? When I go to international conventions. Yeah. We be that. I see the Lions of Germany, and they are all the Lions of Germany. Doesn't matter what part of Germany you are, they have that sense of identity. You go and you will see the Lions of India, and it doesn't matter what part of this massive country they're from, they are all the Lions of India. A very interesting thing occurred. So Vice President A.P. Singh, maybe 25 years ago, asked the staff to run a report that showed if there were any multiple districts that had never had a negative membership year. And at the time, there were 2, Germany and South Korea. So he asked their leaders how they did it. Identity. They all had a sense of identity. They all looked at themselves as one. We need to be united. We are the founders of Lionism. We need to work together. We need to not be worried about what district we're from. We need to be thinking as a collective whole. So if we see that there's no Lions over there, we all get together and we work on it, right? Because we're the whole. In 2027, the International Convention is going to be in Washington, D.C., and our president at that time will be Vice President, then International President Mark Lyon, okay? That's my multiple district. Please, everybody come on down. We'd love to see you there. But how amazing will it be to announce the success of Mission 1.5 and have a whole lot of American Lions and its affiliates Say, we are the lions of the United States. We be that. So it's up to you to go back to your communities and make sure that we will be that. That each and every single one of you take the things that you learn here this weekend and then train one who will train one who will train one until everyone starts thinking that we are proud to be who we are. That is the absolute key. And when we do things, we need to promote. It's important to report, but I tell people to plan your service project, promote that you're going to do the service project, serve, promote that you did the service project, and then report. Report our success. And in closing, I just want to ask a question. What is the most important award in all of Lionism? Success, service? No, I mean award, like something you get, you know. See, I heard it. Okay, the highest award is, of course, the Ambassador of Goodwill. But the most important award is the membership key. This is the only thing that brings life to our association. Start treating it as the most important thing in all of Lions, right? I see a couple of people. You've got, is that a 20 key, 25? 25. Can everyone give them a round of applause? 25 members, right? Is there anyone here that has above a 25? Okay. How many do you have, sir? 51. Everybody give him a round of applause. That is incredible. How many do you have, ma'am? 75. Can I get 100? Do we have 100? There. You have 100. There you go. Reach out to your leadership, and if you are the leadership, start doing this. Right? Add it to your protocol at every single meeting. When people walk in, you know, it's like, please give a round of applause for the past council chair and the past blah, 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 blah. And now, everybody who's got a membership key, stand up. Give them the recognition. Right? Stand up. If you got a membership key, stand up. Come on now. Now, if you don't have one, I'm betting right about this moment you want one. That's what we need to create in our clubs and our communities. So we can. So ask the club secretaries to, when the membership keys come in, to inform the district governor. Award those keys in front of everybody. Heck, ask your visiting international director if they will give it out at the convention. Really an interesting thing occurred. We started doing that in Delaware. And all of a sudden, people started going, how do I get one of those? Well, you got to recruit members for a year and a day, and et cetera. So this is how we change and how we meet our goals. We make it the most important thing in all of Lionism is having a membership key. If you have one, wear it with pride, because you are the reason we have a pride. And there's a long road ahead, but I have faith in each and every single one of you. You are rock stars. I am in awe of everyone in this room, your dedication to service and your willingness to go out and make the world a better place. And in closing, we just need to understand that we be that. That's it. All right, thank you very much. My name is Lion Daniel Marnie Elkins. We appreciate your time and service.
On a mission possible to make our mark. We are lions, we serve from the heart. Whatever our community needs, we be that. Our mission is possible. We be that. We will form new clubs. We be that. We will spread lionism. We be that.
Spreading Lionism is the #1 service of Lions, and every one of you is a rock star community leader who makes the world a better place because you are in it. Thank you for being you.
To make our mark. We are lions, we serve from the heart. Whatever our community needs, we be that. Our mission is possible. We be that. We will form new clubs. We be that. We will spread lionism. We be that. Whatever our community needs, we be that. Our mission is possible. We be that. We be that. We will form new clubs. We be that. We be that. We'll spread lionism. We be that. We be that. Whatever our community needs, we be that. Our mission is possible. We be that. We will be that. We will form new clubs. We be that. We will spread lionism. We be that.
Wherever there is a need, there is a lion. Wherever there is an asset, there is a future lion. Melvin Jones once said, "There is only one thing greater than having the privilege of being a member of Lions Club, and that is helping to build one." We are the Lions of North America. We be that.